crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadtoruler.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. All right, inflation, hyperinflation, silver, cryptos, everything else. One thing we always have to keep in mind is that the price of everything is rigged. Stocks, bonds, cryptos, gold, silver, the US dollar, everything is rigged with computers and derivatives. I've proven this 1,000 times. Going back to the Alan Greenspan programs written in the 1960s to create, first of all, to create our current monetary system and then to control it. People talk about, cryptocurrencies, it's a new form of digital money. Digital money was invented in the 1960s by Alan Greenspan and friends. I hope everybody understands this. If you don't, go back to the Road to Ruta documents, go to roadtoruler.com. I have 2 videos right in the front there that you can watch to give you a better understanding of what the hell is going on. And one of the biggest things is every single government statistic is a lie. So this morning's extraordinary U.S. consumer prices soar at the fastest in 40 years. Makes you wonder, okay, if they can lie, why did they not lie? Or did they lie? I don't know if they did lie or I don't know if they didn't lie. But if it's based on other lies, for example, CPI has, just from the metrics we used to use prior to the 1980s, it's a lie because they changed all the metrics. Our friend over at Shadow Stats, John Williams, has a great website called shadowstats.com, and you can subscribe to this. It gives you a full update, great information there. He has inflation based on the pre-1980 numbers up at like 18%. That's just based on those numbers. Back in 2013, he put out this report that helped people understand why he has a different number than the government. And there are certain things that the government has taken out of the normal CPI numbers. And here's what he said. Consumer price index has been reconfigured since the early 1980s so as to underestimate inflation versus common experience. CPI no longer measures the cost of maintaining a constant standard of living. CPI no longer measures full inflation for out-of-pocket expenditures. With the misused cover of academic theory, politicians force significant underreporting of official inflation so as to cut annual cost of living adjustments to Social Security. That's destroying older people's livelihood, by the way. This is the most horrific thing you can do to our older generation. Politicians look to expand further the concept of artificially suppressing cost of living adjustments in current budget deficit negotiations through the use of chained CPI. See Special C CPI supplement at the end of this document. Use of the CPI to adjust retirement benefits, private income, or to set investment goals impairs the ability of retirees, income earners, and investors to stay ahead of inflation. Understated inflation used in estimating inflation-adjusted growth has created the illusion of recovery in reported GDP. He wrote this in 2013, almost 10 years ago. Bravo to John Williams, and this all stems from printing money, and hiding it, suppressing the prices of commodities so that it doesn't look like we have inflation. Now all that's breaking apart. The monetary system that we knew and loved, that Alan Greenspan created in the 1960s, is dying a fast death. In the war in the Ukraine and all around the world, people are starting to find out, oh my God, if the United States can cut people out of the monetary system, when are they going to cut our country out? Russia's been cut out of the monetary system. Really interesting article here. Russia threatens legal action if U.S. Treasury forces it into sovereign debt default. This is shooting themselves in the foot. Remember, the U.S. dollar is the world's reserve currency, meaning everybody in the world was able to rely on the US dollar to hold its value. And it could be used. And theoretically, the only way that could be possible is if that currency is acceptable anywhere at any time. Anywhere at any time. We are printing money like it's going out of style. And we're not telling most people how much we print. We're not telling anybody. You know, our deficit is not 29 trillion. It's more like a quadrillion. We print unlimited amounts of money behind the scenes. Catherine Austin Fitts is just scratching the surface of that. And that all adds to inflation. But the inflation isn't real. Everything is fake. All numbers, they could have said any number for inflation. And yet they say it's the highest ever. It makes me think, oh yeah, well, is this Biden presidency even real? I don't think it is. I think it's fake. I think we're in the middle of some odd, strange game. Although I think life is an odd, strange game. But I think this specifically, just judging from the people they put at the CFTC, the place that is supposed to be regulating the commodity traders. Of the 4 new CFTC members, at 4 out of 5, they just added, although they haven't added it to the website, 2 of them specifically work for silver rigging companies, JP Morgan and Citibank. What kind of regulatory framework are we talking about here? I mean, talk about putting the mouse in charge of the cheese. You have a JP Morgan flunky who was at JP Morgan during the years of rigging the silver price, and Citibank, the other gigantic rigger. Besides, I don't even count Bank of America as a rigger because they don't know what they're doing. They were a flunky who was said, okay, you're going to take the hit. We need a gigantic bank to have the silver short position, the hot seat in silver, the silver hot potato. Drexel Burnham had it and it went down. AIG had it and it went down and then got recovered. Not the silver short position. It got bailed out $300 billion back in the crash. Bear Stearns had it and it went down. JP Morgan had it and almost went down. Trump almost took them down. Could have just said, okay, let's show everybody everything, not just the spoofing. And now it's getting passed to Bank of America. Why Bank of America? One, the name, Bank of America. One of the soundest banks in the United States of America. You can't let that bank go down, can you? Let's dump all the short derivatives in silver onto one bank that we know they'd have to bail out. So Bank of America will go down as well. The silver hot potato has been passed around since 1971. It's actually been passed around a lot longer. But what happened in 71? Nixon went off the gold standard and said, everything will be fine, don't worry. Is the price you paid for a cup of coffee different than 1971? Let's listen to what the official announcement on August 15th, 1971.
The dollar, in the gold, or the strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators.
Always the speculators.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
So think about that for a second. Gold was illegal in the United States to hold for average citizens. Did you know that? Gold bullion was illegal to hold. Why? Why make anything illegal? Can you even do that today? Can you, if Joe Biden came out and said, as of today, because of speculators, gold and silver are illegal to own, he would just be laughed off the stage. The price would skyrocket everywhere else in the world. Globalization is completely different than it was now than it was back then, and it's falling apart. This is the end of globalization. If anybody thinks things are going to go back to normal, you're fooling yourself. It ain't going to happen.
Now, what is this action, which is very technical, what does it mean for you? let me lay to rest the bugaboo of what is called devaluation. If you want to buy a foreign car or take a trip abroad, market conditions may cause your dollar to buy slightly less. But if you are among the overwhelming majority of Americans who buy American-made products in America, your dollar will be worth just as much tomorrow as it is today.
Well, that's exactly the opposite of what we have today, isn't it? Where's all our goods made overseas? We outsource frickin' everything since 1971. Going off the gold standard, it wasn't even a gold standard. Let's be serious about this. You couldn't go into a bank and cash in your bills for gold. It was a fake gold standard. But we are going back to a gold standard, my friends. We are. Because we have so much frickin' gold. We have millions of tons of gold. Bix, you can't say that. There's only 200,000 tons of gold in the world. Bullshit. You think they lie about inflation? Why not lie about how much gold there is? Why would they lie? Because they have the most of it. The bankers have the most gold. Other than what's in the United States of America and around the world. I mean, Russia knows. China knows. They all know. They've been hoarding gold for a hell of a long time. It's the fact, it's not even a fact. People worry, oh my God, we've only got 8,000 tons of gold in Fort Knox and it's probably been leased out. Of course it's been leased out. But 8,000 tons is a stupid amount of gold. It's tiny. It's nothing. Read Gold Warriors by the Seagraves about Yamasha's gold. Do any kind of research into Chocolate Mountain in California. Massive amounts of gold found in the 80s and 90s and locked up in a military reserve. Read my research on the Grand Canyon gold. Millions of tons of gold in the Grand Canyon. That's why Woodrow Wilson locked it up, created the Federal Reserve to kick the can down the road. We are still kicking the can. The can's being kicked, but it's about to end, I believe. So bravo, John Williams. Stay on top of that. Biden infuriates environmentalists, oil refineries by allowing more ethanol in gas to lower prices. This is the stupidest thing I have ever heard leading up to a food crisis. Biden wants to take all the corn we have, make ethanol out of it, so you can throw it in your tank. Insanity reigns supreme. Russian threatens legal action. All I know about this Ukraine war is that it is not what they tell you. Are people getting killed? Of course. People always get killed. False flags kill people. Wars kill people. Who is this war against? I think it's against the deep state. That's my take. And I don't believe anything that CNN tells me or Fox News tells me. I don't go down that path. I do believe they have 19 bioweapon facilities that the U.S. funds and operates. There's some serious shit going down in the Ukraine behind the scenes in the war against them. I think Trump and Putin and Xi of China got together, and this is their plan continuing to be rolled out. Now is a time when everybody focuses on commodities versus the monetary system. The monetary system is ridiculous. It means nothing anymore. But what is the asset that is the most undervalued in this whole game of bullshit inflation? Silver. Silver is 1/2 of its all-time high twice, in 1980 and in 2011. It's still trading at $25. If you want to get rich beyond your wildest dreams, go buy as much silver as you can, physical silver in your own possession. Mining stocks are useless in a banking crash. Useless. They will all be nationalized. Every single mine on the planet will be nationalized because every country is going to be out of money if the banks fail. Get your money out of mining stocks, out of CEF or SLV. That all will go away and be nationalized as the banks fail. And I think it will be Bank of America, the one to take out everybody. They have loaded Bank of America up with 1.2 billion ounce short position in silver. When 18 months ago, Bank of America didn't even know what silver trading was. And now they have the largest short position by far. Larger than Drexel Burnham, larger than Bear Stearns, larger than JP Morgan. Massive, massive, massive issue. And the other side of the equation is you have CFTC board members, commissioners that work for the long side of that trade, JP Morgan and Citibank. Sitting at the this, you can't make this shit up. Anyway, and for the future, get yourself as much Theta as you can possibly get. Out of all the cryptos out there, Theta will be number one for a few reasons. Number one, they did an ICO. So if for some reason the regulators stay in business, which I don't think they will, but if they do, they can't go after Theta for ICOing. Gary Gensler can't get his little paws in there. That's another reason Theta can't be bought in the United States. They don't want to soil the future holders of Theta. You want to get Theta, go to roadtoruta.com, join the private road. We have a whole page on how to buy, store, and stake Theta. But get as much Theta as you can for the future. I don't know what the price will be. I'm pretty sure that all crypto exchanges will go with all the other exchanges and everything will be zeroed out. Zeroed out. As in, cryptos will be worth zero because there's no place to exchange it. All these exchanges are linked in with banks. You can't know the dollar price of Theta if the banks are gone because there is no dollars to be had. Same with Bitcoin. Same with Litecoin. Just keep that in mind. Cryptos are for the future. And we have to go through a destruction of our current system to get there. And it's coming fast. Currently, with this ratio at 19-1, I buy Tfuel over Theta right now. And if you're staking Tfuel, your returns are better. You get 9% right now. So, yeah, right now I buy Tfuel over Theta. But if you have Theta staked, don't get rid of it because you're earning T-drop as well. So you're earning Tfuel and T-drop. So hang on to your Theta, hang on to your Tfuel, hang on to your T-drop for the future. Don't look at price. It'll kill you. Don't look at price. Same with silver. Don't look at price. This is a fake price. $25 silver is a fake price. Get as much physical in your own possession as you can. All right, I got to get running. I have an interview with Dave at X22 Report. So make sure you check that out, x22report.com. I'm going to be talking with Dave, and I can talk about anything because it's not on YouTube. And I'm real excited about this discussion. Also wanted, a lot of people sending me the stuff on the Grand Canyon. Bix, here's another hint as to what's going on in the Grand Canyon. Yes, I know. There's a lot of information and a lot of part of my research into the Grand Canyon was going through a lot of this stuff. But if you have some stuff you think is important, send it to me only after you've read all my information because I've already sussed out pretty much everything I've seen. The deeper stuff is the Native Americans, Native American, like the Zuni tribes and the Hopi and that stuff. There's a lot that going on with why the Native Americans are allowed to have, were given this opportunity to print money with their casinos. Why was that done? And was it in exchange for massive amounts of gold in the Grand Canyon? Absolutely. So I'm digging deep into that. That's harder to come by. One day it'll be like an amusement ride. You go through the Grand Canyon to see these caves of treasure. But that's not today, and it's coming though. It's coming very soon. Also, make sure you check out Cliff High's newsletter at Substack. So it's Cliff High. There's only one F in Cliff because he said he was lazy. Cliff High at cliffhigh.substack.com. Go check those out. Always get smart if you listen to Cliff High. And don't forget, we are currently giving away one Ruta coin. It's the Ruta Lives coin. Really, really special coin. It's in pre-order right now. They'll be shipping out on May 1st. Starting in May, and then all throughout May, we'll be shipping out these coins. You get a free silver Road to Ruta coin with every subscription to the private road, which you get access to all kinds of behind-the-scenes stuff. And each coin is individually painted Ruta's heart. Check it out right there. Go to roadtoruta.com, hit subscribe today. You can find out more info on that. I'm off to talk to Dave. I will talk to you guys later.
Pay me my silver now. Pay me your day.